Tonight's story is titled The Witch of the Well. A group of friends set out for a fun weekend trip, but little did they know, this picnic would turn into the most terrifying night of their lives. And by the next morning, perhaps no one would be left to see the sunrise. Are you ready to uncover the dark secret of a haunted village in England? So come, my friends, let's begin a tale filled with fear, darkness, and unspeakable horror. 6 friends, Nathan, Chloe, Daniel, Emma, Ryan, and Sophia, worked together in a corporate office. It was a Friday evening. A corporate office in London buzzed with life. Nathan suddenly stood up and said, "Guys, enough of this work stress. Let's go somewhere this weekend. Somewhere peaceful, greenery, fresh air, no network." Emma smiled. "Why not visit Pluckley? It's quiet, beautiful." Daniel hesitated. "I don't mind, but people say that village is haunted." Chloe laughed loudly. "Haunted? Please, with your serious face, even ghosts would run away." Everyone laughed. After searching in internet, they booked an old, cheap countryside bungalow in Pluckley. And the next morning, their journey began. The car drove towards countryside, narrow roads, fog rolling over fields, ancient trees whispering in the wind. By evening, around 7 p.m., they reached the village. The bungalow stood alone, surrounded by silence and dark woods. At the entrance stood an old man, Mr. Harris, the old caretaker of the bungalow. In a low voice he said, "This place is very old. Every wall holds a story. And listen carefully. Never step outside at night." Chloe smirked. "Do you charge extra for ghost stories, Mr. Harris?" He said nothing and walked away. Emma casually says, "Oh, come on. Forget that old caretaker. Let's go inside. This place already looks like something straight out of a film." Chloe opening the door, just joking, and say, "Daniel, is this a bungalow or the set of a 90s horror film? Feels like we'll walk in and someone creepy will just appear out of nowhere." Nathan taking a deep breath and says, "The place is old, no doubt, but it's missing one thing." Emma curiously asks, "And what's that?" Nathan dramatically says, "The sound of doors shutting on their own and the echo of a woman laughing in the dark." Everyone freezes for a second, then bursts into laughter. The bungalow was built in the 1920s. Wooden ceilings, ancient chandeliers, dust-covered portraits staring from the walls, as if silently watching their every move. They stepped inside, each one choosing their own rooms, freshening up after the long journey. Exhausted, they had dinner, chatted for a while, and soon drifted off to sleep. The next morning, after breakfast, they stepped outside to explore. Mr. Harris again warned them, "Don't wander too far. There are places here that aren't right." Emma, smiling confidently, replied, "We came here to explore. We'll make the most of it." Then Daniel says to Mr. Harris, "Don't worry, sir. We'll just enjoy the countryside and head back." A short distance from the bungalow stood an old, forgotten well. And that well carried a dark and tragic past. Years ago, a widow named Margaret was wronged by cruel men. The villagers abandoned her. No one stood by her side. After getting broken and humiliated from villagers, she ended her life in that very well. But remember, friends, some souls never truly leave, and her spirit still wandered there, waiting. The friends, unaware of what awaited them, enjoyed the beauty of the countryside. Daniel taking a deep breath and says, "Wow, this air feels fresher than any air conditioner. London air feels like you're breathing in pollution." Emma with excitement says, "Look, apple trees, they look beautiful." Nathan with happy mood says, "Right then, let's pick some for ourselves." They all rushed toward the tree. Daniel climbed up. Chloe laughing on Daniel and says, Daniel, throw the apples down. Just don't fall yourself. Daniel from above, relax. I've watched Man vs. Wild. I'm fully trained. Daniel startled and whisper, bloody hell, even the squirrels here are guarding the apples. Emma catching one. See? Freshly picked. Tastes so much better. Nathan says while eating, and no barcode either, completely free. Laughing, joking, they enjoyed the moment. Unaware, they were slowly walking towards something far darker. They reached the well, Ryan looking at it. Is this a well or a horror movie prop? Chloe smirking. It's so old, wouldn't be surprised if a ghost comes out before water does. None of them realized that the well didn't just hold water. It held a secret that would change everything. They sat under a tree nearby, resting after the long walk. Suddenly, Nathan walked closer to the well. He froze and shaken. I just heard something, a woman crying from inside the well. By hearing Nathan's words, the others laughed. Chloe, mocking, leaning over the well. Hello, are you Nathan's best friend? Only he can hear you, yeah? Daniel, with serious tone, says, Chloe, don't do that. You shouldn't joke around in a place like this. But it was too late. Something had already been disturbed. Sophia nervously said, I think we should go back, please. They were tired anyway, so they agreed. As they walked back, Chloe suddenly felt something uneasy. Chloe feels like someone's walking behind us. Ryan making her understand, it's just the leaves, don't overthink it. But sometimes what we feel isn't just imagination. Finally, they reach the bungalow. Ryan says, let's get some rest. We've got a long night ahead. Party time. Everyone agreed, but unaware that the night waiting for them would not be one of joy, but of terror. After resting through the evening, the group woke up feeling refreshed and soon began planning for a night party. Time, 11:30 p.m., first night at the bungalow. In the open courtyard of the bungalow, Nathan, Emma, Ryan, Chloe, Daniel, and Sophia sat in a circle around the bonfire. The sound of burning wood, echoes of laughter, and the flickering yellow glow of the fire created a strangely comforting yet eerie atmosphere. Ryan laughing and says, why don't we invite a ghost to the party as well? Might make things more interesting. Sophia with nervous voice, stop it, Ryan. I really don't like these jokes. Emma calmly says, oh, relax. There's nothing here. It's all just in your head. The night was filled with fun, music, and laughter. And suddenly, Nathan startled and silently whispered, did you hear that? That sounded like a woman crying. Chloe laughingly says, oh, Nathan, come on. Have you fallen in love with the woman from the well or something? But then Daniel suddenly froze and says everyone, look, over there, near that old tree. Everyone turned to look, and there, standing in the shadows, was a woman, still, silent, watching them. Sophia, terrified, who is that? Did anyone see her come in? Chloe says, probably someone from the village, or maybe we're just imagining things. Daniel seriously and firmly says, no, she's real. She hasn't moved, and she's continuously staring right at us. And within seconds, she vanished. They looked at each other, a strange unease settling in their hearts. Daniel, confused, there's something not right about this place. We really don't understand what's going on. Chloe, interrupting him, oh, come on. If we don't understand something, we just ignore it and enjoy the night. Let's not ruin the party. But the night had already begun to change. Nathan, who often preferred to be alone, stepped outside the gate to smoke. Darkness surrounded him, silence, thick and suffocating. And then, as soon as he lit cigarette, he saw that woman standing, just a few feet away, messy hair, white eyes, a decaying face, head slightly tilted, standing right in front of him. Nathan, terrified, and asked, who's there? Is this some kind of joke? Scary women ghost whispering, I spoke to you, you heard me. Now you will count my sobs. Every night you will cry, just like me, forever. Nathan's eyes widened in terror. He couldn't breathe. He ran, screaming, back to the bonfire. As soon as reached bonfire, the laughter stopped. The air turned cold. Nathan told them everything. And in that moment, the party ended. Fear had taken over. They all rushed inside the bungalow and locked the door, because now they all knew something was terribly wrong. With heavy breathing and silence, they stood together, trying to calm each other down. Suddenly, Sophia looked toward the window and screamed, She's there, standing out of window. Everyone turned and froze. The woman was outside, her eyes filled with rage, staring at Chloe. She had followed them. No one dared to move. No one dared to close the window. Ryan, controlling fear, tells everyone, Don't look at her. Everyone, move inside. Now, they gathered in one room, deciding to stay together. Fear filled the air. No one spoke. They just waited for the night to pass. Sophia, with crying eyes, utters, We made a mistake coming here. Emma, scared, and says, We didn't know. We just came for a trip. Daniel, looking at Chloe, We shouldn't have mocked. Whatever was in that well, it won't spare us now. Sophia continues, saying, That's why she kept staring at Chloe. She wants revenge. Chloe, with regret voice, says, I'm sorry. I didn't know. I didn't know something was really there. Ryan, cutting in, says, It's too late for that now. We have to face this together. Nathan, firm but with scary voice, saying, Everyone, we just need to survive tonight. At sunrise, we will leave this place. Sophia, with weak voice, No one leaves this room. No one stays alone. We all will leave together, no matter what happens. The night grew deeper. Silence spread in every corner of the bungalow. One by one, they drifted into sleep. Time, 2:30 a.m., while everyone was fast asleep. Emma's eyes suddenly opened. She needed to use the bathroom. She thought of waking someone, but stopped herself by thinking that they've just fallen asleep. Let them rest. And so, she went alone. Few moments later, while in a sleep, Chloe heard a voice. Chloe, come, wake up, let's go outside. Chloe slowly opened her eyes. Emma stood in front of her, smiling. Emma softly whispered, Come with me, Chloe, I want to show you something. Chloe, in half asleep, asked Emma, At this hour? Where are we going? What about the others? Emma, interrupting her, Just you and me. There's something only we can see. Chloe, still half asleep, held her hand and followed her outside the bungalow. The path was empty, fog covered the ground, and the air felt strangely rotten. Chloe, feeling uneasy, asked her, Emma, where are you taking me? This is the path to the well. Emma, without turning, with a dark voice said, Yes, that's exactly where we're going. Where you mocked me. And now, you will stay there, with me, forever. After hearing this, Chloe's breath froze, and with a terrified voice, Chloe asked, Emma, what are you saying? Emma stopped. Slowly, she turned back. But that was no longer Emma. Her face had changed. Rotting skin, white, lifeless eyes, dry blood across her lips. That was none other than the witch of the well. And with an angry voice, that witch said to Chloe, Now you will fall into that well, just like me. She dragged Chloe toward the well. Chloe screamed. At that very moment, inside the bungalow, the real Emma stepped out of the bathroom. She heard Chloe scream, looked around. Chloe was gone. Emma panicked. Chloe! She woke everyone up and said Chloe's no here. Nathan, Daniel, Ryan, Sophia, and Emma rushed outside with torches, everyone searching everywhere. Suddenly, Nathan clicked and told everyone to check the well, and everyone rushed towards well, and what they found was shocking and horrifying moment, that Chloe stood at the edge of the well, eyes closed, arms stretched, as if under a trance. White mist rose from inside. The sound of water echoed. Just as she was about to fall, Emma pulled her back with shouting, "Chloe, wake up!" Chloe gasped, regained consciousness. Chloe with broken voice, "Emma, that wasn't you. Someone else brought me here." And then, suddenly, everyone see from inside the well, half her body, that woman ghost crawled out. Her white eyes stared at them. Ghost screaming, "I will take all of you. None of you will escape." Ryan, while making alert, shouting, "Run!" They all ran, dragging Chloe with them. The witch with loud scream followed them. "You cannot escape. This land belongs to me." But they all rushed inside the bungalow and locked the door. Darkness swallowed everything. Nathan with terrified voice, "She's inside. She's with us. She won't forgive us." Emma, shaken and scared, says, "She took my form. Imagine what else she can do." And then, inside the bungalow, that witch voice echoed everywhere. "You thought you could escape? The way the world abandoned me, now you will feel my pain, one by one." But suddenly, that moment, someone knocked the door from outside. Ryan, full of fear, asked, Who is that?" Emma looked through the window and saw outside stood Mr. Harris, and beside him stood an old priest. Mr. Harris shouted from outside, "Open the door, quickly!" They opened the door. Chanting, the priest entered inside and sprinkled holy water everywhere. And long silence. The priest, with a silent voice, said, "The witch is filled with rage, but she seeks release, not revenge." After, they all went to the well again, this time not with fear, but with courage. Priest chanting grew louder, wind spirals. The priest struck the ground near the well with his staff. The witch appeared again, more terrifying than before. With roaring voice, "No one can stop me now. I will drag them all into the well." Priest with powerful voice, "Margaret, I know your pain. Your torment has ended." Priest revealed the truth, that her attackers were punished till death. Priest calmly says, "Your suffering ends here. Be free." After hearing to priest, Margaret's face began to change. Tears filled her eyes. Whispers, "Perhaps I can finally rest." She slowly faded into light. The well became still, clear, and peaceful. Next morning arrived. They were alive, but not the same. Nathan say, "If Mr. Harris hadn't come, we wouldn't be here." Every soul carries pain, and every pain deserves respect. Chloe, with soft and regretful voice, says, "I'll never laugh at someone suffering again." And they all thanks to Mr. Harris for saving their lives. They all packed their bags and left the village. The journey ended, but the memory never will. And as they drove away, they all whispered one final prayer: "May her soul rest in peace."